Gerald Lucas here with another installment of Ask Gerald, where you get your real estate questions answered. Today's question comes from Paul, and Paul writes from Bergenfield, New Jersey. And Paul writes, "My wife and I are selling our home. If we sign a contract with a buyer, can we keep their deposit money if they back out?" Well, that's a good question, Paul. You know, real estate is done in writing. So I strongly suggest that you read any purchase contract, whether you're a buyer or seller, before you sign it. Now, a home buyer's deposit money can be either refundable or non-refundable. And most standard real estate contracts have what's called contingency clauses that may allow a buyer to back out of a transaction. Now, the two most common contingency clauses that appear in written real estate contracts are mortgage contingency clauses and inspection contingency clauses. So, for example, if a buyer could demonstrate that they were unable to get a mortgage and there was a mortgage contingency clause in the contract that they signed, they could back out of the transaction. Likewise, if there's an inspection contingency clause in the contract that they signed and the seller was unwilling to address something that came up pertaining to a home inspection, for example, they could potentially back out of a contract. However, you can write into the purchase contract that a deposit is non-refundable. And if the deposit is non-refundable and the buyer decides to back out of the transaction, in that case, you can keep the buyer's deposit. So thanks for your question, Paul. For more real estate tips and information, visit my blog at geraldlucas.com. I'm Gerald Lucas, and I'll see you again soon.